Welcome, everybody, to episode 7 of Higher Education, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons game set in the Strixhaven universe with a wholly original story. And you know what? Today we have a special guest, Aabria. Oh,
hi.
Do you mind introducing yourself and vaguely who you're playing today?
Hi, I'm Aabria Iyengar, and today I'm playing Redacted. How vague did you want?
You could say her name.
Okay, well, I don't know.
I mean, just don't reveal her machinations.
Hi.
Or do
Whatever. I don't care.
Tell me what to do.
Let's metagame this son of a bitch. Let's go.
I love it. Hi, I'm playing Professor Sorva, first name Salomé. Prismari, here to represent, because none of y'all are cool enough to be in my college. Please, you have to move on from me. I never nailed an intro.
I was like, Aabria, you specifically picked Prismari because no one was in it.
That's what, yeah. I think that's what I said.
You were like,
I feel like that's what I said.
No one's in it. I want to be there, and then I'll be a mystery.
I hate that that's exactly what I sounded like. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we can move on. Liv, what's up?
Hi, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Oh my God, introduce yourself and your character. Y'all are menaces today. I'm sick of it already. Oh my God.
I was just asking how you were doing, but I guess we've been torturing you for the better half of half an hour, so that's fair. Anyway, hi everybody. I'm Liv. I use she, they pronouns. I play Ciro Lily 12. I literally almost pulled out a different name. Anyway, Ciro Lily 12, who is our grad student from Witherbloom, who uses they, them pronouns. Yay.
Drag, what's up?
Not much. I'm a year older, which is cool.
Yeah,
yesterday.
Happy belated birthday as of yesterday.
I'm officially 15 years old.
That's right.
Oh, wow. That's a big age, you know?
Yeah. My voice is just about cracking. Is great. But hi, I'm Drac or Draconics. You can find me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. I use he, they pronouns, and I'm going to be playing Bogosh, the Gorgon inventor who uses she, he, they pronouns. And I guess I'll also be piloting their construct Star, who is their humanoid construct that they built over the past 4 or 5 years. And that follows them everywhere. And their pronouns are she, they, and it. Yeah, that's me. I'm also manslaughter, I guess. Just in case anyone missed that. Just to make sure everyone's caught up. But yeah, no, I'm excited for the repercussions of everything that's going on.
I'm excited for the consequences of my inactions.
Yeah.
Consequence me, daddy.
Hamna.
Hello, my name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. Today, I'll be playing Jaysha, who uses they, Ray pronouns, and Jaysha is our Earth Genasi sorcerer blood hunter who is not repressing anything. And I don't know why you would suggest that they are doing that. They're coping very, very well. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's weird you would say it if it wasn't happening. It's why bring it up at all.
Right? Exactly. Like, why would you talk about it? Anyway, Connie, go.
It's Connie Go. Hi everyone, I'm Connie. My pronouns are they, he, and she. You can find me all across the internet at by Connie Chong. That's BYCONNICHANG. Today I'm going to be playing a Mystagogue Stag Zua Graves for you all. She is a Goliath barbarian. They, she pronouns, they are massive. They're on the surface like a lorehold jock, you know, thembo, head empty, very friendly though, but they come from a very powerful family. But deep down inside, the big axe they carry all the time is also secretly like an axe, because all they want to do is play music, Dad, but their dads won't let them because music is for losers.
Well,
so I'm really interested to meet this. They are Zac Efron in High School Musical. I'm still convinced that everyone here is in a different movie, and Stag's in High School Musical.
Oh, I'm so excited.
She's not ready, right, to step out of the sport movie yet. And I think I'm gonna pass things over to C, right, who's to my left or right? here.
Yeah, well, if you're in High School Musical, I'm in Mad Max Fury Road. Hi, everyone. My name is Cia. I use they, them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at PieSharpArt. Today, I'm playing Ecstasy, who is a very normal Silver Quill student who uses they, them pronouns and is definitely not a death nun, assassin, or some other third redacted thing. So don't worry about it. They're fine. They are our favorite rogue assassin, gloomstalker ranger, super combo tiefling, dragonborn. And with that, I'll pass it over to Vana. That gets more and more chaotic every time I try to say it out loud with my mouth.
It's just a checklist at this point, and that just keeps growing longer. Possible serial killer. I think you maybe forgot that one.
Serial killer is kind of, I mean,
What is a serial killer? Is it
Mad
someone
Max
who
Fury Road.
kisses
It's
or
assassin.
kisses? It's someone
a
who
job.
kisses.
A serial killer is like that's like a hobby.
Yeah, serial killers
This
are
is for work.
hobbyists.
Yes,
This is assassins are the industry
Oh.
professionals.
Jot that
Oh.
down.
That would Stag be if we found out that X was a serial kisser and had kissed everybody except for Stag.
Stag would act super cool, like, oh yeah, you can kiss whoever you want, and then like secretly by herself.
No.
There's an unrequited love between Stag and X right now, mostly
The
because
most unexpected couple.
because X is incapable of feeling human emotion. Amazing. But yes, I'm Havana or Vana. I'll be your GM today and producer and wearing all the other hats except for one of the NPCs today, which Aabria is taking over. Thank you, Aabria. You have saved me much trouble and allowed me to use my energy on things that I enjoy, such as reading the first chapter of a manga and then never reading it ever again.
Wait, what manga? I need to know what manga.
Chainsaw Man.
I need to read the manga.
Just what?
Oh
Watch
my
anime.
goodness.
That is
I don't like
I love the anime.
Yeah.
I don't like Chainsaw Man. Sorry, that's my
That is fair. That's a
unpopular
very-
opinion.
that's a
Hey,
very valid
I like
take,
it.
honestly.
Spicy.
Yeah.
I don't like Demon Slayer. That's fair.
I don't know why
Wait,
you just say
I don't know if I can
fucked
accept
up
that.
shit and expect us not to call you on it. Jesus
You
Christ.
don't want this
Connie said something brave, but Liv just said something controversial for the fun of it, and I don't appreciate that.
You have read my legitimate essay
I
on
know,
why I, don't
I
like
read it,
Demon
and I
Slayer.
agreed
Don't
with it as
fucking
well.
come
Oh
at
my
me.
God.
Don't fucking
No,
come
I
at me.
would live on this. Demon Slayer's not good.
I'm
All
also
right,
with
well, that
Solomon's,
was
actually.
episode 7. Thank you so
want
much
to go here anymore.
for
Yeah.
coming. It was so nice.
I'm down for it.
If
But
it's a
it's
sin
exercise.
to be hot and correct, then crucify me and Hamna. Okay.
Oh my God.
All right. We'll table this as we always do every week for a different day that will never come. But I also want to tell you, higher education, this show right here that you are viewing with your eyes or perhaps hearing with your ears or perhaps both. And it is presented by Penny Dragon Games. Please go check them out. They make a lot of awesome supplements for the 5e system. And they've been doing a new series called $1 one-shots on their Kickstarter. One just closed, I think, a week ago, but they're going to have another one up soon. And they're up really shortly. And as soon as they close, they're fulfilled because all the contents are digital. So you can pick them up I think like within 2 weeks of the Kickstarter closing, and you'll get a what's it called, like a module. You'll get a module, you'll get an NPC, you'll get a monster, and you'll also get a bonus module. So you can just get one, and that should last you, I don't know, 6 months in a regular, long-term campaign with scheduling issues and stuff like that. So it's only $1, and $1 6 months. That's a pretty good deal. But please check out our other sponsors, exclamation point sponsors. Go check all of them out. They are fantastic. They create all sorts of different not just 5th edition, but tabletop RPG accessories and modules and maps and tools to help you create your own game and tell your own story. And we also have a coupon code on that last one if you want 10% off of that last sponsor there. We also have a daily goal, exclamation goal in the chat. If we hit that, which now we're only $20 away from hitting, so thank you. If we hit that, we'll do a bonus scene either at the end of the next episode, or we will record it off stream and share it on socials and the YouTube eventually. And you can do exclamation point HE in the chat, stands for higher education, to check out a link to our social media, which is just Twitter, our podcast, and also the Ko-Fi, where you can support us off stream. And we have a goal we're very close to hitting there, that if we hit, we'll unlock a 3rd player interview. So go check that out if you want another avenue to support us. Y'all are so cute. What else was I doing? Oh, and check out our content warnings, HECW. All these commands are in the title as well if you need to reference them. We want y'all to prioritize your safety and your comfort first and foremost. So if any themes come up that are too much, please don't feel bad if you've got to excuse yourself. And themes we have explored so far that could possibly be triggering are fantasy violence and gore, trauma, psychological abuse, death, and bullying. So please take care of yourself and step away if you need to. And you can check out our wiki for written recaps. C is taking those over for this episode. C is my literal hero because I write 8-page recaps, and that's not a recap, that's a transcript. So they will be much more digestible soon. So you can look forward to that. But yeah, check out our Obsidian portal. And yeah, we're at Strix Higher Ed on Twitter. And if you want to share art or fanfic, we got some fanfic recently, or feedback or, gentle criticisms. Just so
I'm personally not interested in feedback. Do not.
I'm okay. Thank you.
Get all the way out of the comments.
You can hashtag,
no, thank you.
You can use hashtag higher ed RPG. And yeah, check out the Twitter if you want to see the fanfic and fan art we're talking about. We always retweet everybody and stuff like that. So, and last but not least, make sure you follow the channel here. And if you already have, thank you. And I'm sorry. And with that, is there anything else, y'all? What are you pointing at?
But
The
Here,
channel.
the channel.
Right here.
Oh!
We're here.
We're here.
We're here. And yeah, wish Drac a happy birthday because it was his birthday yesterday.
Yay!
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Drac.
Yeah,
to
Azra in
ya.
chat is who wrote the fanfic for all of our characters. It's so cute.
Write more fanfic.
It's very cute. I'm always scared when someone's like, here, I have fanfic, then I'm gonna read it. And it's gonna be like the most lewd, upsetting thing.
Do not go look at what I tweet or what I post on Tumblr. I'm out there like, I read all the smutty stuff. Tag me in it.
About your
I can find it
characters.
faster. Yeah.
Honestly,
Me too.
I'm with Aabria.
Same.
Honestly, it's
Me
good
too.
content. It's
Yeah.
good shit.
I commission lewd art of
my
my
God.
character, and I think
Like,
it's
what?
great.
Like
do
I
it.
welcome
Fuck
the
it up.
smut about Jaysha. It's fine.
Well,
can do
there
it.
you go. Let's go. Let's do a round. Who is uncomfortable with smut of their character? Okay,
Okay,
great.
if you are.
Well, there's your consent,
Well, there you
fanfic
have
writers.
it.
Hey, all I'm gonna say, I'm paying an artificer. Do with that what you want. Like,
Hey, the Laren in me sees you and goes, it's gonna get weird. It's gonna get worse than you think.
Oh my god.
I think I'm just sitting here and I'm like, would I be bothered by the actual, like, that it happened, or would I be very hyper aware of, like, never mind. I'm gonna stop this train of thought anyway.
No, Liv, I'm picking it up and saying that X is a top, and if you write fanfic where they bottom, you're wrong. That's
Right fanfic where X bottoms. Do it.
I only want to read that.
Does that
Death of the PC. Like, I'm so sorry.
yeah, Savannah, it does mean.
When I
That's
write
the
my
day
own
one.
AO3 things, it's not about you anymore. And what you
I don't
say
think
is
It's a
fair.
headcanon. It's a headcanon. You gotta
I
let
don't think
people
there's any
headcanon.
question about what kind of position Sierra would take, so I'm fine.
Pillow
with that.
princess.
It's fine.
Pillow
100%.
princess.
100%.
Pillow
Absolutely.
princess.
100%.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify though, stags at bottom, is that what we've learned? If X is a
Well,
top.
stags is
Well, if X is a top, then
Oh, okay,
So,
okay.
You
Okay.
can do whatever you want.
I like it.
Salome likes temperature play.
Okay,
okay.
Are we gonna
damn.
open on a really
like sold. The most cursed intro.
Oh my god.
How did they begin fading to black? I don't understand.
If one of the mods could add to the content warning list sexual content, sexual themes, I'd appreciate it. Okay, I'm gonna start now. If you perverts are done.
Nope.
Well,
I'm not done, but you can.
I'll
give
start
whatever
anyway,
you want.
and you can work it in as we go. It's been almost a month since the five of you heard the shattering of Chorus's petrified body echoing off the bottom of that cavernous hollow in the sewers. Almost a month since you heard Kleka's laugh, answering like death itself, joyfully claiming its next soul. Almost a month since you decided the best course of action was to cover it all up. Almost a month since everything was put into motion. And every day, it seems the dedication to your machinations grows, and the likelihood of being able to turn back shrinks. A new hole is being dug, and you are all at the bottom of it, laboring side by side. It's less a question of if you will hit the molten core of this matter, but rather when. You can feel the impending eruption beneath your feet as surely as you can feel the steady beat of your own heart in your chest. An informal investigation has begun into Chorus's unexplained absence. Students at large have begun whispering, but faculty have been doing their best to keep everyone calm and keep any new details on a need-to-know basis. There seems to be some hesitation to take the case seriously, as Chorus has been becoming more and more absent leading up to his disappearance. Many faculty and students alike want to think he bailed on school completely and would likely pop back up when it served him. Chorus's parents and a persistent few insist that something must be wrong and more action needs to be taken. His co-advisors, Adrix and Nev, Quandrix professors of both theory and substance, respectively, have been quietly observing and noting the changes in the water circulation and patterns beneath Strixhaven, and hypothesize that the two ordeals are perhaps correlated in some way. But on this day, all of you and the rest of the advanced students at the university are required to attend a seminar titled What to Expect When You're Expecting to Ascend, as it is universally assumed that anyone staying along the academic track beyond the required 4 years must be aiming for ascension. The seminar is being held on the Prismari campus on Conjurate Hall, a towering structure with a glassed-in observation area at the top, constantly changing strands of elemental energy encircling the monolith. Being inside the observation deck is a bit like being inside a kaleidoscope that is behind a spiraling waterfall in the throes of a blood-red sunset. As you enter the space, you see Uvilda Mistcoiler and the Prismari Dean of Perfection, and Salomé Sorva, Prismari Professor of Expression, awaiting your arrival. Aabria, can you describe Salomé and what maybe we find them doing as the group enters the space?
As you enter, you notice that second dean of expression is also sort of walking in and settling herself. She's maybe 5'5", a fire genasi of magenta and like deep orange flame that kind of matches the sunset, with embers sort of kicking off of her, not just at her hair, but like at any points of articulation. She unbundles herself from like this big cloak and like a giant scarf around her neck and puts down like, just an oversized water bottle with a straw and like pulling snacks out. She's giving, I'm just gonna be very clear, movement professor from drama school energy, and just putting everything down and just warm ups, and we stay limber in the space. Perfection, expression. Hello, students. Don't know why she's breathing heavy. She's done very little.
I mean, breathing exercises are very important as well.
From your diaphragm.
and sort of exactly the foil to Salomé is Uvilda, who is standing just straight up, hands behind her back, not moving an inch, chin up. And she is a blue-skinned water genasi, and she has this just perfectly ironed and white frill that starts around her neck and works up into this huge collar and back down the other side. And she's wearing a blue dress that works all the way down her body and past her feet. So she's almost like this singular tube of fabric that has all of this white fringe and frill around it, and then translucent sort of banners of arcane elemental energy waft off of the ruffles. And she has a smart collared jacket that is poised perfectly and buttoned centrally at the very crux of the thinnest point of her waist. She looks very put together and uninterested in whatever Salomé is doing.
Is it inappropriate if I say you are the stiffest looking water genasi I've ever seen? You're literally a fluid, and yet...
Well, when you put a fluid in a glass, does it not stay in that shape?
I pick up my giant water bottle and shake it. It's still moving in the glass. So, in this example, are you the glass or the water?
I'm the water in the glass, but the glass helps me maintain my form.
What do you think would happen if we broke the glass?
Don't break the glass.
Oh, they're here. Hello, students. Hi. I don't recognize any of you. I do.
Wait, who do you recognize?
She's lying.
Oh. As y'all enter on this scene, is there anything that you do or say, or maybe even an internal monologue as you kind of take in the dynamic between these two Prismari faculty?
I am waving at whoever makes eye contact with me like I remember them.
No.
Hi.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good to see you.
As soon as she comes in and sees these two Genasi women doing their thing, she waves really big, like this big, charming, like pearly white smile spreading across her face, looking directly at Professor. Was it Salomé? Salomé, Professor Salomé, and just goes, Professor, good to see you. Hello, good morning.
So good to see you again. Oh, how are you?
I've been well. It's been a few months since the cross-department faculty meet and greet. How have your classes been?
If I had to pick one word to talk about them, I would, let's be brief. I would say transcendental. Thank you so much for asking. How are yours going?
They're going, you know. I still remember what you told me during the meet and greet about, letting my inner spark come out, and I've never really
sounds
stopped
like me.
about that. I just, as a lore hold major and all, I guess there's not much opportunity for me to do much Prismari stuff.
Look, I won't lore hold that against you. And we're moving in the space.
Stag is completely like, she's really into this. It's nodding. She sits down in like the front row, and she actually even like puts some of her bags down on the seats next to her and like gestures toward her cohort.
Amazing.
Like, hey,
I'm passing dried kiwi to Stag, like, get a little snack.
It's a fruit, but dehydrated.
Zero looks like side eyes Jasha in this moment, and Jasha's name is in my book, and I, with no components, no like symbol, like hand movements or anything, cast message to Jasha and just, what the absolute fuck is happening?
I'm not quite sure. The Prismari College is not one that I tend to frequent, so I'm not quite used to this energy.
It is an energy, isn't it? It is very much an energy.
Yeah, and I think in contrast to Stag's enthusiasm, I think Jaysha is like already has their like glasses on. They have a book in hand, like mage hand, ready to go, like already taking like notes on the space and whatnot. And they are quite, I think, rigid in the way that they are sort of standing and moving about in the space. Complete opposite energy to the way that Professor Salomé is kind of just like moving around the space. And I think they actually look a little bit uncomfortable because they weren't expecting this atmosphere. I think they were expecting like a lecture, you know, like we were going to sit down, we were going to like learn something and all that. And I think Ray is starting to get a little bit nervous about what exactly this class is going to entail.
Yeah, I think you even maybe there's a moment where you lock eyes with Uvilda, and she just gives you an exasperated, understanding bit of eye contact, where she's like, "I'm with you. This is a lot." Yeah. What about Baru?
See, if you don't mind, I feel like Baru would probably come in with X. So Baru comes in with X and with Star, their construct. It's kind of like something about 7'2", and it's I always describe it as Art Nouveau, but a construct kind of vibe. So they kind of walk in. You probably hear the thudding footsteps of them before you actually see them, and Baru is watching Salomé, just kind of like every time they say like from the diaphragm, they just notice themselves breathing deep. Like, oh, I want to dive.
It's nice, right?
What's happening? I suppose so. Kind of like
you come here, get close.
yeah.
All right. What do you do? What do you do?
I'm a Lawhold student. I
don't care about the call. What do you do?
I do a lot of things. Glass blowing, blacksmithing.
Where does it come from? Stop hesitating. You go here, right?
Yes.
You're smart, good at
magic. I think so. Yes.
Why are you hesitating? Are you afraid of me? You have a 7-foot construct and I'm a 5'5" person.
Wait, why did you hesitate?
Why did you?
Salomé.
It's unnerving, right?
Salomé, could you please stop harassing the students?
Hi, can you just be a glass? You're giving still life and I would love for you to continue that. I'm having a moment. And I just put my hand up and I think anyone within maybe like 15 feet of Salomé would feel like if you have hair on your skin, you would feel it start to stand on end and begin to smell like burning plastic, like before a lightning strikes.
I think the snakes on my head kind of start hissing as they react to this as well.
Answer. Where does it come from?
My head, brain, mind?
That doesn't feel right, does it? That's where you think your thoughts. Where does the thing that creates come from? Some of us call it fire. It feels a little obvious. But that heat, that energy, where do you feel it? It's not in your head.
I don't know if I know the right answer to this question.
I'm going to push him in the chest. I want to hit him.
Oh.
Like hit him? Mm-hmm. Okay, attack roll, please.
Can I get
17?
17? What's your...
That hits. I'm a squishy person.
Do you have a react X? I don't think anyone expected this.
I have a reaction. Oh my god, I do. I could stop this.
Stag, but aren't you dancing?
Yeah, you know, I have Spirit Shield, but I think like I'm totally enraptured by Professor Sorva. Like I'm like, look, like, yeah. And I think there's a moment where like, as Professor Sorva's talking about like, where does it come from? Where Stag's hand just reflexively goes up and touches her sternum over her chest. Like she knows. like instantly, instinctively. There's something about what Professor Sorva is saying that is resonating on a register that she doesn't even know is within her. So she doesn't react, actually. She like lets it happen.
I want to time it then with Stag's like touching of their own chest, like just a hit there, and it kicks up cinders. I think it does like a point of damage. I don't have a strong strength. It's an unarmed strike, but I just want that place to feel warm and noted. There. That's where it comes from.
My sternum.
Your gut, your heart, your diaphragm, that place deep within you that we don't have to talk about the physiology of. Everyone here is different, has different builds to them, but they all have that same place. You have that place. And I just think it's important that you don't let it grow still. And I just give a withering look over at my fellow dean.
Okay. Okay, Professor.
Liv, are
No,
you
it's Zero.
holding? Okay,
Yeah, Sarah's holding it in her hand. I think Zero has like flittered over to a seat, and is just there, hand up after seeing this entire exchange, and just,
Yeah.
isn't this supposed to be? What does this have to do with the lecture?
It's so good that you ask, Miss Lily Twill. Salome, you have your designated spot after my presentation where you can do anything you want with these young minds within reason.
Thank you for
After I am
clarifying.
finished.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
Now,
And
if-
I'm just going to like walk into a little like taped off square, like a very obvious mark for me. I'm like a little cat, just stand in my little spot, and I just kind of keep wiggling.
Now, if everybody could please take your seats.
Are there assigned seats?
No!
Jisha hasn't moved from like the hall, like in between all of the different seats.
There were assigned seats,
Oh
but
no, I grabbed some by the front here.
but
For all of us.
But Salome took it upon herself to get rid of the labels. So
I burned them with my fire.
that's correct. So please
okay,
sit anywhere you like. And you look around and you do see that it's not just you, but it's also your compatriots from Herlin House, and then any sort of like random assorted advanced study students that aren't in like the two main grad student housing options.
I think that at Stag's very enthusiastic gesturing, Jisha will kind of like nervously go over and then like take the seat next to Stag and just kind of like lean over and whisper, "Do you have any idea what we're supposed to be doing today?"
It's just like some like Ascension preparation lecture. I had no idea there was like a post-lecture like dance thing happening. That's
I don't
pretty
really dance. Is it mandatory?
Yes!
But there's your answer. Well, come on, Jasha. You can loosen up a little. You've got your collar all starched and your little succulent. Aren't plants kind of, like artsy?
Not when
There's-
they grow.
There's mathematics to plants, their structure. It's predetermined. There's patterns. It's predictable.
Yeah, but some of the carnivorous plants out by the Witherbloom campus, like, they, like, dance and pulse and quiver and stuff.
To get prey.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool.
You want me to dance to get prey?
What? No, that's not exactly. Baru, X. X? Where is X?
Oh yeah, what is that doing?
I think like they've been sitting in the seat on the other side of you the entire time. And they have been completely enraptured by Professor Salomé. And the thing that they do where they literally don't have any idle animations seems to be like glitching out. Like you're looking into a broken mirror because every time Salomé does something, X kind of does like an echo of it in their own body and then like will become completely still after a second. Like they are learning every somatic component to this person. And when like Salomé like talks about fire, like a bit of the red scale underneath X's throat glows a little bit, almost like they're picking up the resonance, copying it and remembering it in their own body. And they are just like sitting there like back and forth in these odd positions, like as Salomé is going. And they go, what? You wanted something?
Oh, gee, fuck. Oh, hey, there you are. And I lost track of you.
No, that happens. Yeah.
Oh. You like Professor Sorva's stuff too, don't you? I've never seen you move so much.
No, it's, yeah, no. What's the lecture today?
Some boring Ascension stuff. Come on, Ciro, you're sitting all the way back. Oh.
I think you sat at the front, didn't you?
Yes.
So you're
and
just
she's
like
very loud.
You're just
hashtag some more like I think it's like a trail mix, just like a gorp situation.
You're literally Pavlovian actually training stag right now. Oh, you did good. Have a little treat. Oh my goodness. But yeah, Uvilda absolutely hears that and just clears her throat in an obvious, like, just shut it down kind of way. And then says, if everyone is ready, we can begin.
Oh yeah, sorry, excuse me. And I want to like shuffle past a bunch of people to get to the seat by X, and you see again the construct doing the same. So you see like a massive construct just bumping people in the knees as they try to get into the part of the ion sits down.
I don't
Sorry
know.
to interrupt.
Go ahead.
That's actually a very good question. Are we the only people, like, we're not the only people in this room. It's all other grad students, right? Okay. Not asking you to bring in NPCs into the scene.
I've prepared some.
Oh, okay, perfect. What NPCs are here?
I think the most notable people to you is everyone from Herlin House, but like the people that are kind of repeats from previous experiences this year is Kadoris, who was the guy who got knocked out at the Mage Tower match and flung under the tower. And then there is Gavin Commonbrook, who's like he's just like seems like a sweet regular guy. I don't think anyone knows him too well. Aurora is there, of course. Rubina is there, who is your housemate.
Yes.
Of course, our beautiful Grayson is there. Strangely, there has not been a gossip column to come out since the Purple Worm incident. And yeah, so those are the people of note.
Yeah, I'm gonna go sit next to Aurora.
Oh, Ciro, don't you have your party to sit with?
Gosh, Aurora, it's almost like you don't want me around. I'm hurt.
No, I'm fine. That just seems the five of you are thick as thieves.
But I can always diversify. I can always hang out with other people.
Sure.
Probably would do me some good. Distance, you know?
Spread the love. Did Jaysha get my message? And Aurora looks past you to like the front row to the back of Jaysha's head.
I think across the room, Jaysha, when Ray noticed where Ciro was going to sit down, just kind of like put their head in their hands, like looked over and just mouthing like, "What are you doing to Ciro?"
I messaged Jaysha from across the room and asked, Aurora said that she sent you a message. Did you get it?
You sent her the message, Liv.
Oh, wait. No, yeah. Oh, wait. Sorry. I thought it was a different one. It's been 2 weeks.
It's been.
Yes, I did. I gave it to her, right?
And what did they say?
Jaysha is an interesting person because I think when for all of their logic, it's like when one of Baru's machines backfires. It works fine most of the time, but every now and then a gear gets caught and just doesn't work anymore. And
if I didn't know better, I would think you were trying to ingratiate yourself to me by diminishing the qualities of your dear friend.
Jaisha has many wonderful, wonderful qualities.
And apparently some big flaws.
Not a flaw. I think that they get shy. It's not a flaw.
It isn't.
Some people would find it charming.
Some people would.
Are you one?
Depends on the person.
I just think you should speak to them yourself.
Okay. I didn't want to intrude on your little group without a bit of a green flag.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Just seems like the lot of you keep pretty tight. I don't want to disrupt that energy.
It wouldn't be disruptive at all.
Good. Maybe after the presentation.
I'd love, well, I wouldn't say introduce, you two know each other already, but yes, definitely.
Aabria, what were you going to say?
Oh, I sent it to you in Discord. Don't worry about it. I do think you notice, though, as Professor Sorva continues to stretch, the like angle, and I think the longer you look at her, the more you get this like concept of a bonfire on a beach where a storm's about to hit, that the like embers and cinders kicking off of her are slowly floating in Aurora and Ciro's direction. That's all.
If all of you are quite finished, and Uvilda waves her hand and uses her absolute, I mean, she is the Dean of Perfection for a reason. She has an absolute mastery of all of the elements and is able to form them perfectly how she sees them in her mind's eye. And for this occasion, all of you are seated in sort of these like small, tight lines of chairs, and you're facing out one of the glass walls of the observatory at the top of the tower. But she creates this scene in front of you that sort of blocks that view. And she makes these perfectly sized mosaic tiles of arcane energy that shift into place between her and Salomé, who is standing on the opposite side of the scene that is coming together. And ultimately, they come together to form this intricate and impeccable mural, this mosaic mural. The mural depicts a sun breaching a perfectly green hillock dotted with sheep. The dawning age was the birth of the plane of Arcavios, and the peaceful period following that was a void of humanoids. During this time is when the 5 founder dragons of our beloved Strixhaven mastered the magic of the plane, unfettered by the many disruptions and imperfections of men. You just roll your eyes.
Salomé is doing her best. But I think, yeah, she's not hiding her sort of contempt for this narrative. And I think the tiles closest to her in the mosaic, like the space between them where grout would be, there's just a little bit of vibration as her vibe is catching in this sort of arcane mosaic. Go on, you're doing great.
I know. The mural.
Oh, look at the little sheep.
She waves her hand, and the mural shifts again, this time forming the scene of a battlefield that is shrouded in red and littered with corpses. And there's
the Blood Age. Tell them about this one. Go.
There's a subtle movement in the piece that seems to add animation to some of the bodies, making them seem as if they are reaching out to the viewer with their last breath for help, while the decimated field around them flickers in flames. Yes, I'm getting to it, Salome.
Yeah, do it. Tell them about it.
After humanoids came about and began to get an elementary grasp on the magic of the plane, they quickly devolved to violence. And what we
It
call...
lasted 3,000 years. Sorry, it was the blood. You should you should do this. You do it. You do it. You're doing great. What?
And it's what we call the Blood Age, which,
Yeah, there we go.
as Salome said, began over 3,000 years of wars, violence, and struggles for power. Armies were raised, glorious empires were built, everything was torn asunder. And then the cycle started over. Many magics were crafted during this time, but the methods were chaotic, inconsistent, imperfect, and blessedly poorly documented.
I'm taking that part personally.
That they weren't well documented?
Yes, that part.
Are you not well documented? Is that why, Salome?
You don't want to get into a verbal match with me, my tall glass of water. Keep going.
There actually are plenty of records if you know where to look on the Blood Age.
Really?
Vilda,
I wouldn't say.
looks down at a chart, I think on a small table next to her, and then looks over to you and goes, "Ecstasy, is it?
Yes.
Do you care to enlighten us of your stories?"
Come up here. Come on.
What?
Front
Okay.
and center.
I don't know if we need to do all of that.
I
Salome.
already said it. Don't undermine me. Come on.
Oh, that is rich coming from you.
Mm-hmm.
X stands as the two professors kind of go back and forth, very much unclear about whether or not they should go up. But eventually they do walk up, and they move like a perfect approximation of how a normal person would move. But there is something so slightly off about it that it doesn't seem normal, even though it is perfectly normal the way that they move. And they get up next to Professor Salome and look out at their friends and fellow students. There are
Ciro
plenty
sinks into their seat, by the way. It is well documented that Ciro is a part of this group. So Ciro just sinks into their seat.
Very subtly, as X begins to speak, I want to use minor illusion to dim the mosaic tiles behind X, to just make it seem a little darker and a little stranger and removed from this. Go on.
There are plenty of scriptures, prayers, old pieces of parchment hidden in monasteries across Arcavios that talk of the Blood Age very clearly. They may not be exact academic texts, as you might refer to as well documented, but they are lyric and they are informative.
I'm not sure that a bardic song 2,000 years removed is really as notable as a ledger.
Really? Really?
Just from a history perspective, yes.
What tells more truth? A to-do list or a song? Something that people have poured time and energy and passion into.
I would hardly call a ledger a to-do list, Salome.
A settling of accounts. You think there's truth in that?
Of course.
Hmm.
Each stroke of the pen in something like that is made with deliberation and intent.
It's factual, but it is not truth. And it is surprising that you would so loudly admit to not knowing the difference. Why don't you continue your little lecture?
I don't think we need to argue semantics in front of the students.
Oh, I think they deserve truth and expression.
And that's why you're here.
Thank God for that. Thank you very much, Ecstasy. Did you have anything else you wanted to add?
No, Professor. I agree that when it comes to matters of evil, destruction, and corruption, most truth is not often found in actual historical texts. You find it in matters of belief, I think, more clearly.
I made some
Thank you.
fruit leather. Would you like some fruit leather? And I just reach into a pocket and offer some snacks.
Why would you leather up? Okay, thank you.
We have a luncheon later, Salomé. You're going to ruin their appetites.
All right, ingredient mom, go.
Ingredient
Continue your lecture.
Mom.
I'm getting bored.
If I may, and Jaysha, I think, like raises their hand from the front.
I think even
kind of-
further.
Looks back down at the ledger on the small table next to them, and then goes, "Yes, Jaysha."
I'm
Up here, come on.
Oh no,
I really don't think we need to keep doing this sort
It's
of.
just a question.
Go ahead.
I am curious about the truth that you mentioned, Professor Salomé. I think as students of Strixhaven, we're all interested in truths. And if this is not it, then I question the, not to be disrespectful,
do
but
not
the merits.
do not be thrown off by Salomé. This is the factual truth. What Salomé is referring to is the emotional truth, which is a much
I love when you speak for me.
different thing. And not what this lecture is about, but perhaps the activity you have planned after can elaborate on that. But we do have a schedule.
You're running
I'm
behind.
so sorry. I have a question too. Professor Sorva, do you have more of that trail mix?
Oh, yes, hold on.
totally
And
out.
I'm going to walk out of my little box on the stage
There's going to be a
and go rummage through my
luncheon.
bag.
Oh, but the little chocolate bits are so good, Professor.
Do you just want the chocolates?
Do you have a pack that's just the chocolates?
Yeah,
Then
I can
just-
pick them out. I'll pick them out.
That's
And
dessert.
Thank you.
I am now crouched in the corner behind the mural, picking the chocolate bits out of a bigger bag of trail mix. This is your opportunity if you want to keep going.
Yeah, I think Uvilda notices the opportunity of you being distracted and immediately shifts wipes the illusion from the mural that you put there to brighten it back up, and then shifts it to form an impressive image. It seems even larger, if not in size than in power, but of all 5 of the founder dragons in flight, side by side, seemingly about to soar over the heads of the viewers. There's Valimachus Lorehold, a red and white dragon, stones falling from her powerful talons. Galazeth Prismari, a red and blue dragon, ensconced in flames and lightning and water. Tanazir Quandrix, a blue and green dragon trailed by fractals. Shadrix Silverquill, a black and white dragon, almost lost in inky shadows, and Beladros Witherbloom, a black and green dragon, wings feathered like a crow's, each undeniably fearsome and awesome in their own way. 700 years ago, the founder dragons felt as if they could no longer stand idly by and transitioned the Blood Age into the Mystic Age by seizing control of the plane, founding Strixhaven, and facilitating the first trial of Ascension. The founder dragons spent hundreds of years training mages in the ways of spellcraft in order to heighten their minds, their consciousnesses, and their hearts in order to prevent a second Blood Age from occurring. During this time, magical discovery and insight bloomed voraciously. Have you finished your task, Aabria?
Nope, still digging. Thank
Okay,
you so
good.
much. I'm being thorough. It was a big bucket.
I think Uvilda stops expecting you to interject something, and then sees you're still scrabbling in the background, and it's like, okay, keep it going.
I turn a little bit and it's full chipmunk cheek full of the not chocolate parts.
Oh, I thought it was the chocolate parts that you were gonna say.
I've got a little bowl of the chocolate parts, and then I'm just sort of jamming other bits in there. while we go.
Beautiful. The mural then transforms into a star arch, brimming with light in the midst of a pastoral scene. The light coming from the floating stone archway seems to pulse with energy. A nearby servant grazes a bit before lifting its head to look at the viewer. And again, this is still in that mosaic, that arcane mosaic format. So everything kind of moves like an oil painting that's been animated, or sort of like a stop motion of like mosaic after mosaic. Once every century, the arcane gates form beneath the star arches across Arcavios will begin to thrum in anticipation of the next Ascension Cycle. And on the day of the trials, they will glow with a brilliance that can be seen across the vast lands. And when she says that, the light on the archway and the piece pulses even further. Yes, looks not at the chart. Barugash.
Do we know much about the star arches? Like why they're there, how they work?
We know that they are used as gateways for the Ascension Cycle and only seem to be active during the periods of the Cycle of Ascension. That they have been present across Arcavios for at least the past 700 years. Were you looking after something specifically?
Yeah. And I point at the Servine. Are they linked in some way?
What
The Servine and Star Arches, from the few accounts I was able to get, they always seem to linger around there. Is there anything else we know about that connection?
Well, not servants specifically, but most fauna are drawn to the star arches in these times when more energy seems to be funneled into them from the earth.
It hurts not knowing a good answer, doesn't it, Uvilda? And I walk over and hand Stag just a bowl full of the chocolate parts.
Oh, sweet.
Do you have a better
you, Professor.
response, Salomé?
No. And isn't that a shame that an entire institution devoted to magical learning can't give this young mind a better answer than fauna are drawn to the star arches?
They were asking if a Servin is connected, and that is the connection.
Everything craves power.
Doesn't it?
Does that answer your question, Barugash? Don't
I
shake
think
your
it's very
head,
clear.
Salomé. I'm not asking you.
I think it's very clear, just because of who Barugash is as a person, that their face betrays them. They say, yeah, but it's very clear that they're still just as confused, if not more confused.
You don't have to lie.
Well, it doesn't answer my question, but
We don't
guess
have
it
the
just means-
answer.
yeah, yeah. Do you know if there is anyone that does?
But if the question is there a correlation between the star arches and servant, then the answer is yes. All fauna, including the servant, are drawn to the star arches in periods of the Ascension Cycle. The question has been answered.
So literal.
I think what's missing is why.
Very good.
I mean, I
A
think
better question.
we could theorize certainly many things, but
Oh. Okay. Theorize.
well, I will not be theorizing in this session, but there are certainly many schools of thought on the subject of ascension, and we are just delivering the basics, and you can form your own path from there.
Jasia, what do you think? Best guess.
From my understanding, from my studies, these star arches have some sort of particular magical qualities that were in some way connected to the founder dragons, and the Ascension Cycle is meant to bring us closer to godhood, and so perhaps us people the students, the academics, maybe we're not the only ones trying to cross that barrier.
Makes sense.
It seems silly, I know.
No, hey, whoa. Where does it seem silly? Am I laughing?
That animals might try to ascend.
Why wouldn't they? Who was it just a minute ago that said things seek power? Who was that? It was you. You all agree, right, students? Things seek power, energy, knowledge, truth, vitality, right? So
They
why
do.
not? Why not a little lamb in a field? Why not a servant? What makes you different from them? Just the walls that you build around yourselves to explain what you're doing. Are we done with the lecture part yet?
We
Evilda?
are not.
Oh, my
I
God.
keep getting interrupted, actually.
Can you say something more interesting so maybe we won't interrupt you with better questions?
I think I could say the most interesting thing in the world.
Oh,
Salome,
that would
and
be
you would
such a fun change of
still
pace.
interrupt me.
You're not wrong. But let's try one time, you and I.
Maybe later.
All right.
As I was saying, each hopeful. Y'all are messy and queer. Get out of here.
I've been
I'm just
thinking
sensing like a rivals to lovers.
Oh,
thing going
yeah.
on as well, you know, I'm just getting
They are
No,
not
they're gonna-
mutually exclusive.
They're going to go home to the same home, and that's the big reveal to the audience that they're actually
No one would be this messy and not have a big relationship
Oh
behind
my
it.
God.
Yeah, listen.
Each hopeful must step within one of the arches and be subjected to a test, the details of which are unknown, and I would love no commentary on this, but it is often theorized that they are unique to the participant. If one is chosen, they will not exit the gate and will never be seen again on this mortal plane. Those who are not chosen will exit the gate, their memories fogged, and will not be able to take part in the cycle again. Though someone returned insisting that someone or something was there with them, they can still feel a consciousness fixed upon them. This phenomenon has led to the belief in the trespasser, an interloper that is thought to be observing and taking advantage of their vantage point to infiltrate our pantheon.
That's interesting.
See, I told you I could interest you.
Oh, I should have trusted.
The mural shifts into a scene with a long table at its center. The table is filled with people, and each one is turned to their neighbor and sharing words, the silhouette of their lips in the mosaic moving almost indiscernibly. There are many different schools of thought on the matter of ascension, but most agree that one attempting the challenge of becoming a deity of the plane must be pure of heart, singular in their goals, and a paragon of their peers. Whatever power means to you, that is what you should be chasing. And she gives a pointed look to ecstasy. The founder dragons left us to our own devices 300 years ago, and it is our solemn duty to honor their gift. Whatever ideology you may ascribe to, we challenge you to do your best and to push yourself to your very limits so that you can take your seat above and help lead Arcavios into further prosperity and enlightenment. There is no place in our pantheon, or in this program for that matter, looks over at Salome, for the desolatory and the imperfect. And with finality, she wipes and the mural blinks out of existence. And the group of you are just left once again staring out across the glass opening overlooking the Prismari campus that is just made of writhing towers.
Lovely, lovely. That was so good.
You don't need to clap.
I can be supportive.
Yes, ecstasy.
Is this the part where we ask questions now?
Sure.
If the Ascension Cycle is perfect, and those who ascend perfect within it, then why is our world so imperfect? The world
question.
that they rule over. A god of water who ascends and invokes drought. Is that perfection?
It is a
A
work.
god of war who brings death and suffering. Is that also perfection?
It is a work in progress. You can't expect after 3,000 years of the decimation of the Blood Age to be able to come back in a fraction of the time. Miss Lillytwill.
Life needs death. It's simple as that. It's not about doing the best, but keeping things even. That's perfection. Not too much or too little of one thing. So the bad things, the imperfect things, are actually a counteracting.
Balance.
If it's about balance and evenness, then doesn't the ascension in and of itself seem imperfect, unjust? There's only a select few that ever get to ascend. What about everyone else?
No, they
That's-
just weren't worthy.
But that's imbalance. How is that fair? Power for the few so that no one else gets anything?
They
a choice?
get-
Maybe not everyone deserves it. I
I
don't
would
know.
agree with
Like, if you
that.
give godhood to like everyone in Arcavios, I feel like the world would kind of like suck major balls.
If
Why?
everyone's a god,
No,
then
no, stop. Why? Stag.
Well, I mean, it's just, you know, like, because there's bad people out there and there's good people out there. So if everyone got to become a god, that means the bad people would become gods too, and it just become really chaotic, like a second blood war. That's what my dads always say.
But who are we to determine who's good and who's bad? I mean, everybody has their own.
Oh, it's not us. That's why the gates happen. That's why there's a system. Anyone can go through, but like
who
it's
made-
not us who chooses.
But who does choose? Who made the gates? Who makes those decisions?
The founder dragons gifted them to us.
Gatekeepers to the last.
Yeah, the
done?
gatekeepers.
That's the funniest shit I've ever heard. Yeah, gatekeepers. Yeah.
Max says positively. Max says that positively.
Gatekeeper's affectionate.
I mean, listen, let it be known that Cyril is like in the corner nodding along. Because, like, yeah, there's people in charge and those people make decisions.
Stag's also nodding along like that's the most normal thing in the world.
It was set up to run itself, and all we have to do is put ourselves in a position to be worthy. And not everyone is. And yes, I am done, Salomé. If there are no further questions.
Does anyone have any other questions for the good dean here to artfully dodge? Or are we limbered up for my portion?
I
Stag.
actually do have just one last question. It's something I've always wondered, but I've never really gotten a straight answer when I've asked it. If someone tried, you know, to ascend and they failed, they came back, what happens if they try again?
They are barred from entering.
Right, it just sort of like spits them out, right?
They can't even get past the wall.
Got it. So I just wanted a confirmation, that's all.
Well, I have worked up an appetite. Let's grab some lunch and then we'll begin my portion.
And as you all head off to the luncheon that was prepared for you, appetites ruined. That is
Salome is undeterred by her snacking. It is just feeding a little fire. She's like,
That's
good,
right.
time for more.
It's keeping you primed, you know. But that's where we're gonna take our break. During the break, if you want to post on socials about the show, remember to use the hashtag HigherEdRPG, and remember to go drop a follow to our entire cast and including our special guest Aabria over on their Twitter pages. And we'll see you soon. I'm gonna run a giveaway, so stick around in the chat. Bye. The luncheon has wrapped up and you are back in the same room. Sans, the Dean of Perfection, and Salome, now fueled to the brink, is ready to take you all on without interruption. Aabria, take it away.
As we walk back into the space that had those chairs lined up, I think you see that she kind of just grabs, well, like she's walking up, like Salome walks up the middle aisle and grabs one chair on either side of her, and they begin to like ash like a fuse, like they're being immediately consumed. And I want to burn all of the chairs away to leave a big open space at the center.
Full of ash?
Yeah, full of ash. Why?
Just checking, yeah.
Why? Was dusty? Is this a problem? It's a big dusty room with nothing in it now.
Who's yelling at me?
God! Welcome. It's dusty. Okay. I thought that was going to go different. The more I yell, it gets worse. I cast Gust of Wind. I want to blow it all away.
Oh my God. Everyone make a Constitution check.
Okay.
It's a
Save or a
strength
check?
save.
I'm sorry. It's a strength save.
Strength
Did you say
save?
strength?
Oh no.
Or Constitution?
If Aabria
it's
says strength, it's strength.
Oh, okay.
Gust of Wind is a strength check.
I got an
Damn it,
8.
I rolled a 3, so that's an 11.
I rolled a 12 and Star rolled
Star weighs like 400 pounds, doesn't she?
yeah, but they still have a score and everything. I assume should they roll? I can just not let them make
Up
them
to
roll.
Aabria.
I'm fine with the roll because it doesn't cause any damage. It just creates difficult terrain. But we'll just
Star rolled
say
21. So I think
okay.
we're good.
Yeah, Star moves as normal. Everyone else gets slowed down. And I think after like one big, oh, sorry, what did you get?
Oh, I was gonna say, I'm gonna be a little asshole. Let me grab this ladder so I can reach. I can fly. Can it be dexterity to see if I catch the gust of wind?
No. So good. Hi. Let me just be very clear. I'm not Vana. No.
I think you roll with disadvantage.
Really quick.
Honestly
Are you
would.
flying when you come into the room?
Yeah, I think Zero Fly is like
Just
most
absolutely
places.
roll with disadvantage.
You about to be a bug on the
you for
windshield.
asking
Good
me.
job.
I can't believe that's backfired on you so hard.
The ladder is coming out from underneath you.
I admitted it was a reach.
I
I'm
respect that.
shameful. I rolled a 12 originally, and then I just rolled an 11. So I'm fucked either way. It's fine.
Yeah, a little bit, but that's okay. So for the rest of you, as you walk forward, you are like assaulted with this like cloud of dust, and you see behind you like a perfect silhouette of your walking pose. in cleanness on the wall where the dust is everywhere else. With the exception of you, Liv, who has splatted into the wall. No damage, just kind of just gently blown back.
And all the walls are glass. So you're pushed against the glass wall of the observatory and you look straight down and you're like 20 stories up.
It's, you know, when like birds hit the glass anyway.
Yeah.
It covered in soot. Like Ciro has very fine clothes, absolutely covered in soot, pressed up against the glass. Hates us already. Absolutely hates it here.
But this room is much darker now that all of the natural light from the glass is obscured by this level of ash, and you are in a fairly dark, secluded space with just you and the other students. And Professor Salomé standing at the center of a wind that she dies down, though she still is sort of roiling with fire being whipped up. Okay, we're all filled. Are we feeling good? Did everyone use the bathroom if they do that? It's time to get into our bodies. Are we ready? Are we?
Yes.
Enthusiasm. Important here.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Hi.
ready.
Great.
I don't know what we're ready for.
What?
What are we doing?
What?
What are we doing? What's this lecture about?
Oh, the Ascension. That's what we've been talking about.
Okay.
You got the history. You have facts now. And now I'm here to talk to you about the expression of those facts, the truth. 3 things. Who remembers what the 3 things required of one that would ascend would be? Come on, this is for grades or a point or whatever sort of arbitrary mechanism you use to feel like you need to contribute. Yes.
A pure mind or a pure heart, a singular mind, and I think Jisha's like, you can see is like the loading screen can't remember the third and final thing and is like panicking a little bit on the inside because they're not used to this. They're not used to not knowing the answers to things. And Jisha just kind of like looks to Ciro, just like, help me.
Okay,
Ciro splatted against the wall.
I'm still getting down to like my wings are like flicking in irritation as I'm trying to I'm trying to readjust myself, so I can't help you at this time.
I think you go to look for Ciro, but you actually lock eyes with Aurora, and Aurora smiles at you. Very like she's finding you endearing.
And Jisha's mind goes even further down the shitter at that.
Can I make an insight check on Jasia in this moment?
You may.
Plus, where's my stat block? 19.
Is this a contested thing? I don't know what I'm
If
doing.
you want it to be.
It doesn't need to be. That's okay. What are you looking for? What are you trying to figure out?
You looked for help and you didn't see Ciro, but you saw someone else. How are you feeling?
I think the question that you had asked at the beginning of the class to Baru about finding that fire, about finding something, the source of your magic or the source of what drives you to create, that.
Okay. Interesting. All right. The 3 standards: purity of heart, singularity of goal, and a paragon of your peers. That third one, a little harder to define. Everyone moving, and we're moving. You don't have to actually do it, but she's gonna walk around and heckle you all into constantly like moving through the space. Where do you think each of you lives out of those 3 goals right now? Are you singular of goal? Do you consider yourselves pure? Are you paragons to your peers? Or do, when you look for help, they not meet your eyes? I want each of you to imagine a leaf by itself inside of some sort of weather, something bigger than itself. Sierra, where is your leaf?
Well, it was tumbling through the wind a moment ago.
Is it still tumbling? Oh, don't apologize to me. You can't hurt my feelings.
I would never try to.
Where is your leaf?
Still, like still and attached to a stem.
By itself?
No, well, I mean, most plants seldom have just one leaf. It's usually no.
Answer my question.
No.
So something's coming for your leaf. You feel it. What's coming?
And Zero is trying so desperately to find a different word or a different answer, but the first thing that came to mind is, and they will say it, storm.
Oh. Are you worried about the storm?
No.
Are you lying?
No.
What hope does a leaf have against elements that don't care for or about it? Wind, rain, and worse. Where will you stand at the heart of the storm? Where will any of you stand? And as I weave through, Vana, I want to be using that gust of wind to slowly separate these 5 from the rest of their classmates. So they are subtly shifted back and away. And I push 0 away from the other 4. Who's with you on the branch? Singularity of goal, 0.
Then there doesn't need to be anyone on the branch.
You are by yourself, awaiting a storm. Interesting. Jasha, where is your leaf?
Fallen off of a vine on the ground in the cracks of the earth after an earthquake.
Oh. So the storm's already come. The worst has happened.
Perhaps. At least that's what it feels like.
Oh. Is there anyone else here that feels like the worst has already happened? Oh, Stag.
Well, I mean, just theoretically speaking, many bad things have happened to all of us in our pasts, and maybe they are the worst things that will have happened to us. And maybe I'm just speaking for myself, but I feel like the worst thing that could have happened to me has already occurred in my past. And it's very personal. I would not like to talk about it. Yeah.
Where's your leaf?
Oh, that's easy. It's in a box. A really safe box with like 10 different locks or whatever, and like you can't see through it. You like can't look at the leaf. And I put the box inside like a closet, and I've locked the closet, and the closet itself is inside this like mansion that no one gets to enter. So the leaf is super safe. Did I win? Did I do good?
A tornado's coming, and you won't see it coming because you're locked in a box, in a closet, in a mansion, by yourself. Good. X, where is your leaf?
It's burning.
Oh. Oh, that's fun.
Was that the wrong answer?
There's no wrong answers here. Why is it burning?
That's just the first thing I thought of.
Best guess.
The fire doesn't go out, though. It
Why
keeps
would it?
burning.
Go on. How does the
And-
leaf feel about burning?
Feel? The leaf doesn't feel.
Oh, that's not true. Everything feels. Unlike my esteemed colleague, I am the dean of expression. What use is there to expression if it's not to convey great feeling? Why does the leaf burn? What does the leaf tell itself to make it okay that it is consumed?
The fire has to burn. The fire has to consume. It has to eat. For new growth.
Oh. So this leaf is past saving.
Most things are past saving.
Pero, where's your leaf?
I had made eye contact with, or not eye contact, but I was staring at X when they said their leaf was burning, and without moving their gaze, they just say, on the edge of a wildfire.
Oh. Oh. Which way is the fire moving?
Towards the leaf. The leaf is still on its tree, but I can see the neighboring trees getting consumed, and I know it's only time till that leaf's tree is too.
What does your leaf think of watching its friend burn?
That it needs to do as much growing and budding it can before it's its turn.
Oh. Resignation. Interesting.
I suppose so. Yes.
And I want to bring up the wind just a little higher so that it's very obvious to the five here that they've been sort of sequestered off, but that maybe some of the words that Salome is about to say won't necessarily make it through the barrier. Why do you think the rest of them don't want to stand with you?
I've never been good with people. I never understood them. Constructs and machines made more sense. I understood how the physics of that works. Even the magic of it makes more sense than the people who often wield it. So I suppose I could just never find a ground to relate to them with, and I'm fine with that. I've been fine with that.
Are you not fine with it anymore?
I don't know.
Zero, why are you standing so far away?
I motion to like the wind. I would like to join the group. I would.
Are you
prefer
lying?
to- No.
You didn't sit with them before, during the lecture. What's changed?
Professor, there's just some roommate antics. That's
Sure. And your roommate antics. Well, if you walked into the gate into the Star Arch today, would some roommate antics be a good enough reason for them to reject you?
No.
And I want to get close to Zero. Do you think they would even let you back in if you asked?
Professor, I don't believe that my personal relationship with my roommates over something silly is something that should be brought up at this moment in time. I don't think that it's beneficial to the lesson.
3 goals. Paragon of your peers. You are a single, friendless leaf, and a storm's coming. So what are you going to do about it? And I want to drop the gust entirely. They could get closer to you if they wanted. They're happy where they are. Why is that?
I'm sure they have their reasons why they want to be separated from me, the same way that I have my reasons for wanting to be away from them at this moment in time.
Yikes. One lonely little leaf.
Not very lonely.
Oh. Who do you have?
My eyes go to Jasha, and then to Stag, and to Aurora. And I also have my own family and peers back home. They're not here now, and that doesn't matter to you, I'm sure, but
You have no idea what matters to me.
you're right. Apologies.
This isn't just a lesson for you, young Zero. All of you. Single, lonely leaves, vulnerable. And a storm is coming. And you would hide yourselves away or resign yourselves to oblivion instead of fighting, instead of banding together. Why? What do you want? Why are any of you here? Someone answer me.
To learn.
Learn what? You can learn anything, anywhere. Why here? Why now? Why them?
Because they know. Because they know about themselves. I don't really. Stag has a lineage, has a family, has purpose. Baru has her inventions, star, curiosity. Zero has a singular force of will, I think is the best way to put it. And X, as much as they maybe don't want to show it, has an understanding of values. I'm not really quite sure what they are yet, but they all know who they are.
Okay. Next.
I make direct eye contact with this professor who I've decided is my enemy.
Do you telegraph that?
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that like you've struck a chord. You've struck a chord for sure. And I think Although I'm me, Liv, the person loving it here. Just throwing it
Oh,
out
yeah,
there.
okay.
Yeah. Little safety check, loving it.
How we doing?
Yeah. But Cyril like purposefully looks at you as they say, I'm here because I have a singular mind of purpose. I am here for a reason, and that reason is to ascend. I have a goal.
Salome is going to move in Ciro's direction, and those cinders, like wind being blown in a new direction, the moment she returns your eye contact, the cinders begin to blow in your direction, and everyone behind her can feel like that feeling that you get, the barometric pressure drop right before a storm hits, as your bones get a little creakier and a little achier as she turns her attention on you. Why? Why do you want to ascend?
Ooh.
What good will you do?
I will do. Ooh. Sorry, this is me. Like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh no. No, Sarah wouldn't say that. No.
As you think,
Yeah.
Salome is going to gesture just over your head as the sort of like ash begins to pull itself off the ground and off the ceiling and forms like a sort of soot-and mirror of a star arch just behind you.
Oh, that's dope. I understand that there is, like I said before, a balance to things. I have an understanding of the world, the take and the give, and the responsibility it takes to, well.
So you understand the world, but what do you have to offer it? Some great insight, some new perspective? Or do you simply seek to uphold the order that has always been here?
Someone has to.
Then step back. Why not test yourself now? What farther do you have to walk down the road? Go. And I gesture to move behind her.
According to you, I'm not a paragon of my peers yet.
Prove me wrong. I don't care about being wrong.
And I care about doing things at the right time, and it is not time yet. I will not fail.
You don't know that.
I will not fail. I will make sure I do not.
How?
By becoming the epitome of those 3 standards.
And did anyone ever stop to think that the fucking standards were wrong? You happily kneel before gatekeepers and beg for scraps. You want to prove yourselves worthy and then leave the world and the ability to change it. That is cowardice. But by all means, how can I help you all ascend?
And then Stag just says, kind of out of nowhere, do you know?
You know what?
What?
Stag.
I just...
What?
Do you?
I know a lot of things.
I am messaging Stag. I am messaging Stag. Just like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Counterspell.
Wait.
Can it be
Verbal,
counterspelled?
somatic, and material. I see you
It's-
beginning to cast a spell, and I counterspell it.
I don't know if it can be counterspelled because
Is it a message?
It's an-
spell, or is it like telepathic
it's-
ability?
Okay, it's technically it's sending, but my Eldritch Invocation, I have Far Scribe, so I can cast the sending spell without using any components or spell slots.
Doesn't mean I don't see you casting the spell.
I mean that's true.
If it has somatic or verbal properties, I would proffer that Aabria could counter it.
That's true. Then
If
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
have any components.
Yeah, that's the thing is like
Okay.
it allows
we'll
me to
allow
do
it.
without
Cool.
components.
No,
Yeah.
you're good. Sweet. You send it off. I take it back.
Stag like
What's wrong?
shakes their head like a horse trying to rid themselves of like stinging flies that are like in their head. I just mean, like, do you know?
Yeah. Everyone knows.
What?
What you did.
Stag looks over their shoulder at the other graduate students that are not their cohort, like in the room.
This
and then
entire time, the other students have just more and more bunched together and are visibly afraid of Salomé and are making no moves to like help you or jump in and speak for you or anything. And I think at this, like, the energy shifts in the room and they're all looking at you a little differently.
Stag narrows their eyebrows together at this like huddled sheep herd of like the other graduate students, then looks back at the professor. What do you mean by that? But did you tell them?
Me? No.
Then who did?
It doesn't serve my interest to tell them. But they know. That's why, even under the assault of my words, they don't come to defend you. They know. And you're wrong. The worst thing that's ever happened to you. There's no guarantee it hasn't happened yet. I think we should talk. And I gesture towards the soot arch.
Is that a threat?
No, an offer. Unless you want to have this conversation here. But modify memory is a difficult spell. And there are so many students here.
X is already walking toward the Star Arch.
They disappear when they pass through it in a puff of smoke.
Ciro's gone completely pale, but will also turn and walk through.
They also disappear.
Hey, Baru. Josh is gonna look over at Baru. Is Baru still wearing the ring?
You can't tell. Because I remember it can turn invisible, so you don't know.
I think Jaysha walks over towards Baru, and if Baru will allow it, will hold onto her hand where the ring should be and tries to like thumb over the finger to try and feel it.
You would feel it, yes. And they're just staring at Salomé with tears in their eyes. They're on the verge of crying and they're just frozen in the spot.
I'm sorry. It doesn't have to be this way. I promise.
I squeeze Jasha's hand a little bit and I will walk through the arch and I'll leave Star behind. And I think the moment I disappear, Star shuts down. You see all the runes dim and they kind of just stay stationary in place.
Jisha will follow.
When it's kind of just Stag on the other side of the arch, she glances back at the other huddled grad students and just kind of says, trying to muster what social capital she has, trying to muster what semblance of reputation remains here, and just sort of puffs up her chest and says, "This isn't what you think it is, okay? We're,
I just want to
you'll
go
find
up.
out soon."
I reach and just so tall and get a hand barely on your big ass like delt and just kind of give you a little pat of encouragement.
Can you roll persuasion or deception?
Sure. Stag is specifically, she is talking out of her ass as she keeps going on. Like she has nothing and words just spill out. We're putting a show together, and it's a big surprise for all the grad students, so don't tell anyone.
All the grad students are there. What do you mean?
Yeah. What should I roll?
This is perfect.
I would say deception, yeah.
I have a +2.
Can I provide the help action?
Yeah.
As I nod sagely next to you.
Yes.
Mhm.
If you seem to be any way in body language or facial expression to be corroborating, yeah, absolutely help.
I rolled a natural 18 and then a natural 19, so it's a 21.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think it's like one of those things where it's like it's in those like moments of like mass destruction or tragedy where people are just trying to grasp onto any explanation to why this is happening or to get their feet on something solid. And I think when you say that, like everyone like very slowly is like, yeah, okay, no, that makes sense. A show. When she said, "I know what you did, you planned a show." Oh,
Yeah.
and there's like
Yeah.
murmuring of agreement.
There's a lot of
between-
artistic differences, so things have been very tense between all of us, but we're figuring it out now.
One of the students to Salome is like, "Should we like stay or
Salome's not even focused on the other students anymore.
okay, yeah, maybe we'll go." And it's sort
And
of
then-
just like it's sort of that moment where it's like you feel like someone's about to kiss and you're the only other person in the room and you're like, okay, let's all kind of file out. So yeah, you're being left to an empty room.
I do not let the other ones out the room. I have a plan for them. I just need Stag to go through the portal.
Yeah, Stag will go through the portal now. She's
Oh, it's
just
okay.
like-
Sorry, you can take your time.
Wait, so if they try to leave, are they like blocked at the door or do you say
door's locked.
something? The door's
Door's locked.
Oh, okay, so we must need to stay here with no chairs. Good. And they all sort of reform their herd, but by the locked door now.
And I think this is she's so little and not strong, but just like high proprioception, like very good at her body, and will leverage all five of herself to just gently sort of interpose herself between Stag and the students, gently pushing towards the arch, and begins like a massive inhale that will pull all of the ash from off the walls and the ceiling and the floor and out of their lungs as she calls all of this back into her to take the memory of the last 10 minutes away. Oh, you don't think I do this and then just constantly blow my cover, right? Through the portal, please.
Stag has been through the portal. I don't think she saw this.
Yeah.
I think she
I would happily
Yeah.
let Stag have that. Like, you stayed
You know what?
by
Then
to
if you're
have
gonna
that
give it to
moment.
me, I
Yeah.
will have it. Yeah. Then
Sweet.
yeah. If she witnesses, then she witnesses.
Yeah.
Like 1 foot across the portal and then sees what you do and just goes, "Okay, pretty sure we're super mega fucked." And like falls backward into the arch.
and then we'll go and follow you as the rest of the students are just sort of, I guess, standing in a room by themselves, which is dumber and funnier to me. So I like that. They're just in a room.
Very confused.
Unsupervised.
Theorizing what the show's going to be.
They remember. It's the only thing they remember.
Oh, do they remember?
You
Yeah, I
get a
guess that's
talent
right. I have a feeling, a sense for some reason that there will be a big show.
Yeah. I do want that to be the only thing that remains.
So the portal opens up onto a vast open area filled with discarded magical creations. Elemental forces infuse the structure's walls and numerous alcoves, the surfaces of which slowly shift, glowing with discordant lights that shimmer, clash, consume one another, and then glow anew. For any of you who have been here before, this is you would recognize this as the inside of the Fury Gale repository. And typically you enter through just a really irresponsible cavernous opening in the south wall. But in this instance, where do you think in the space, like central Aabria?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. This is a show of like power and a moment to attempt to cow these students. It is right at the center of it.
And you also, if you haven't been here, you also at least know that this is a really potent place of wild magic, because all these sort of like failed, discarded projects of primarily Prismari students, so like elemental magic, is just there waiting to be broken down. And in the meantime is just like bursting and popping and sending the elements all over the space at random, and does affect magic that is cast there sometimes. And a lot of students have in the past gone there to do duels, specifically because it's a remote location, and because the wild magic kind of levels the playing field. So that's where you find yourself.
Okay. This seems like a slightly better place to have a good conversation. Do you not agree, students?
X has their bow drawn, not pointed up, but it's out now. Just as a heads up.
Good to know. If I wanted to hurt you, I would hurt you. That's not my intent here.
What do you want?
To have a conversation. How about this? I tell you one thing I know, and then you tell me one thing you know. Does that seem fair? Also, you know where we are, correct? Your time here at Strixhaven. None of you are Prismari students, but I assume you recognize the locale. You can leave whenever you want.
This is the Fury Gale repository.
It is. It's where we throw away broken things.
You know Kleka?
I do. And Kleka told me something very interesting that happened in the sewers.
It was an accident.
No, it was... Kleka's a liar.
Shut your mouths.
What? What are you afraid of? The truth? You can't dig yourselves into a bigger hole. If I wanted to take this to the proper authorities, I would have. There's no reason for me to talk to any of you about any of this other than I see potential.
Potential?
Potential for what?
You all are so singular in your purpose. And if we were still talking about the road to ascension, that would be a stroke in your favor. But I think all of you are capable of asking better questions. Why? Why is it built like this? Why did the founders in their infinite wisdom build such a system to enlighten and then remove those who could do the most good? To where you walk through the arch and you're never seen again. Where's the justice in that? Where is the glory in disappearance?
Why is a professor talking to Kleka?
Well, I talk to lots of people. And they had a very interesting conversation with an associate of mine.
Wait,
A group. Have you acquainted yourselves at all with the orc?
Who?
York?
No?
I don't think we know who that is.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I do like a history? Like,
You can
do
do a
we have
history
any
check.
idea?
Mhm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm also gonna.
Yeah. Let me pull out this baby.
Baru is too panicked right now to think.
Mhm.
So
Oh, sweet bean.
17.
Got a 17.
Natural 20.
Yeah!
Connie. 18.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
everyone's rolling cute as hell. Let's go.
Yeah, it's an organization that sort of ebbs and flows out of the realm of observation. And the sort of basis thing you know about them is that they want to see the end of Strixhaven. They want the university to be torn asunder. And they want all of the knowledge and magic held within to be available universally. Go ahead. X.
Do you think that X has ever worked with this organization before?
Yes.
Oh.
Flash of recognition crosses behind the mirror that is X's eyes, and they
There
tilt
it
their
is.
head but wait for everyone else. Huh?
I see it. You've heard of us.
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 You're
X,
a
please explain.
terrorist?
A what?
A terrorist? Yorkies are terrorists.
It's a bit reductive.
I have
Terrorists
to agree with that. It is a bit reductive.
Use violence to achieve a political goal. Well, sure. I think that fits then. Terrorist.
But I mean, it's a good goal, isn't it? From what I've read, you're trying to bring everything to the masses. That's what I've been saying all along, is that the Ascension is unfair, right?
Thank you.
That the power should be given to all.
Thank you.
Jisha, what are you?
What?
I mean, that's what my research has been about this whole time, right?
No, Ciro, speak up. Talk again about how you want to make yourself exceptional so that you may do something to elevate yourself. You have not spoken about your goals in terms of a greater good. What kind of unjust God would you become?
I'm not going to answer to a terrorist.
You can call me whatever you want. Doesn't mean I'm wrong.
You are. Those are not my goals, but I'm not going to. I don't need to tell you my goals.
Okay. Are you going to do anything about it? Or are you going to wait and watch as your friends, who have an ounce more of the critical thinking required to deliberate on this, move through the exercise that we've set up? Feel free to stretch in the corner. You've made your mind up. The rest of you. Why? Why seek ascension? You had to come here to learn, to grow, to bud on the vine. What if you didn't have to? What if this wasn't locked away, hidden, acceptable only to those who are deemed worthy by virtue of being able to be here, to seek, to grow? Is that just?
No. No, it's not. And if it was more available, maybe more people, less people would die because of these secrets, this knowledge.
They would have a chance. And I want to reach into my pocket and grab that same bag of like dried kiwi from before and offer it. It's not a ruse. I question as far as I can within those walls, but I see and I seek those with the ability to see beyond what Strixhaven can give you. What is being held here, guarded. Why, the 5 of you, brilliant, are given only drops of answers to your very good questions. We don't know enough. We could know so much more. I disagree with what you said earlier, Stag. If everyone is a god, then no one is. I think that's the most beautiful thing I can imagine. Everyone with power enough to help take the world in a new direction, a better one. I prescribe nothing. I seek to tear down Strixhaven because I believe that more people should be allowed to express themselves. And in that expression, we can seek truth.
Okay, so what was going on with the fucking worm?
Worm? Can I make a history check?
Yeah, go ahead.
There we go. 7.
7? You're like, I have no idea about no worm.
Whoa! I think you absolutely see like she got hit with a Mack truck of what?
Worm? The worm that your friend Kleka sent through the freaking Mage Tower battlefield, and people were hurt. Some people almost died.
Oh, I don't speak for Kleka. Their choices are their own.
But if what you're saying is how you really feel, Professor, then is Kleka also a part of York?
I suppose so. Look,
Then
we are not a monolith. It sounds like they made a terrible choice to distract something from someone with a giant worm. That's pretty stupid, actually. Look, I don't need an answer from you all here and now, and you really can put the arrow down. I'm not gonna attack you. I simply want you all to know that there's another option. There's another way.
Forgive me, Professor, for the arrow. It makes me feel better.
Oh, well, all right. I just start eating some snacks.
I think Jaisha moves up towards Professor Salomé. While she had been talking, they had kind of been like rifling through their bag, and they pull out like a handful of like vials of mutagens, and they kind of like go up to her really excitedly, and they say, "You've already got my answer. This is what I've been working for this whole time. These mutagens, my thesis, it has been about the study of anatomy, of trying to harness what it is that makes gods gods so that we can bring it into people.
That's incredible.
This is my research."
You are brilliant. And I think Salome doesn't quite make physical contact with you, but it's just sort of close enough that you can feel the warmth of her as her fingers are a couple inches away from your shoulder. And she regards you with a like genuinely warm smile. I think it's very obvious in this moment that the sternness is more affectation than the like warmth is.
And I think that fire that is kind of kicking off, the embers that are kicking off of Professor Salome, they sort of, the light hits off of the crystal vitiligo that goes across Jaisha's whole body, and the geodes inside kind of like glitter and glimmer. And the same shine is reflected in Rare own eyes as well, as they see somebody who agrees with them for once, because I think the popular opinion is that the Ascension is just, that the Ascension is right. And Jaisha has always held the unpopular opinion that perhaps it's not. And so finally meeting somebody who maybe agrees with Rare point of view, I think they're kind of like losing themselves in it. I think they're forgetting entirely about the murder, about Kleka, about Chorus, about all of it. Right now, they're focused on this. What do we have to do? How can we help?
Oh. I don't think I would be a very good emissary of my organization if I immediately put you to task. But I think it's good. You are asking questions, that you are seeking your own answers. And if there is anything to be done, I'll come to you. You are brilliant. Yeah. All I would ask is that you keep going.
Okay.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Is there any way to make this communication two ways?
I am a dean of Prismari, and I keep office hours. You can come visit me whenever you like.
You can expect me at them.
I await that eagerly.
And Jaisha turns to the... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead. You go.
Jaisha turns to the group, like really excitedly. I think like it's very clear on their face that they think this is a great thing that is happening right now. They say, "This is good, right?"
Are you serious?
Kidding me, Jaisha? Thank you, Zero.
What? What's the problem?
Jaisha, there is a difference between thinking outside of the box and being a literal terrorist. I want you to think about that. I want you to recognize that.
Do we get to say that after what we did?
A good question.
It was an accident. None of us wanted it to happen.
Intent doesn't negate harm done.
I don't see how those... I fail to see how these things are connected.
What? Do you want me to make this better for you, Ciro? What do you want?
I don't need or want anything from you.
Then leave. You don't have to be here. You didn't deign to sit with them during the first half of this lecture. So why are you sticking around now?
Because I have somehow been forged into an alliance with this with these people.
Then consider this your permission to break it.
Zero, these people?
Jisha, I'm not talking about you.
But I'm part of the group too. If you're talking about them, talking to me.
I don't want to be a part of this anymore. I thought that we all agreed that we were just going to,
So they all had to agree with you. With
I
what
had
you
to agree
wanted.
with them. I'm the one that got dragged into this. I didn't do anything. My life is ruined now because of these people. And I like motion to Baru and X. I'm here for one thing. And now my life is in shambles and I'm the one to blame for that. That's my fault.
Purity of heart. Singularity of goal. You're almost there. So go. Look what they've done to you. Look what they've reduced you to. Isn't it so sad? The great tragedy of your promise, of your potential. Either make peace with who you are, or go and stop tormenting these people
I can't.
with the ghost of who you think you are.
I can't go. I was told no loose ends, and now I'm here. I'm here now. I can't go. I can't go until this is done and this is over. And the second that it is, I'm gone. But
Who told you no loose ends?
I step away so they can speak.
I didn't tell. I can't hide from her. I can't lie to her. But my patron knows everything.
You have a patron?
No. She is. Oh God, one second. I'm pulling up things. The Lady Nida is my patron. She is the ruler of my court back in the Fey realm. Everything I am, I owe her. Everything I do is for her. And if she tells me that I'm stuck with you all until this situation has been fixed, I'm here.
When did you tell her?
I don't answer.
Zero, when did you tell her?
A month ago.
You've been lying to us for a month?
Don't try to sit here and act like you or anyone here has a moral high ground.
I'm not asking for a moral high ground. I'm asking for my friend, Zero.
I can't hide anything from her, Jaisha.
So why not tell us a month ago when you told her?
Because you would have been upset with me. My friend would have been upset with me.
For a time? But you've been lying to us for a month.
They didn't have a choice, okay? Look, I know where Ciro's coming from. Sometimes there are people that just have power over you and you can't do anything about it, okay? That's just how it is. And I don't know
You can be
about any of
honest
this.
about it. You can be honest about it.
Fine, then honesty on the table. I told my patron, for she is the reason why I am here. It is her will that I will eventually ascend.
Professor,
Yes.
I may not see exactly eye to eye with you about certain details. Where you find desire to put divinity to everyone, well, I don't pretend like I want to ascend. That's not my interest in Strixhaven, but like Ciro, and X kind of casts like this sidelong look at Ciro. They've been very quiet this whole time, the same way they always are, mirror-like and quiet. And they pull their gaze back to the professor. I also can't leave. I have nowhere else to go.
Oh. So pulling down these walls would pull down the roof over your head.
Yes. And it's already happened once, and I would not like a repeat. I'd like to stay here for as long as I can, and I'd like to stay here with the rest of my house. That was the deal that we agreed to, the promise that binds us. We all wish to stay in Strixhaven for one reason or another. And that oath, to me, is sacred, and I don't wish to break it.
So you acknowledge that your allegiance to this is out of obligation. If you had a better option, you would take it.
There are several better options that I can think of. This is the one we've chosen.
Okay. I respect that.
And I respect your power. I acknowledge it. You have many weapons pointed at us. I have my bow. You may not wish to hurt us at this point, but when you do, you will, as you say, tear the roof off of our heads.
If the time comes and I see the opportunity to break these walls and liberate knowledge for everyone, I tell you the truth, I will take it without hesitation. And if that puts us some point down the line in this, again, you and I will take no joy, but I will understand that you fight to protect your cage. And I will fight to free you of it.
It's a very generous offering, Professor. And know that it is with regret that when that day comes, I will have to kill you.
You will certainly try.
Until then, how might we best find ourselves aligned?
For now, you've given me all that I asked for, which was an opportunity to speak. Your secret is more complex than you give it credit for, but know that it is safe with me. My secret, also quite complex. I lay at your feet to do with what you will. I hope that you trust that I have everyone's best interests in heart. And if you need anything from me, I will help how I can. And I want to turn, and out of the sort of like roiling energy, I want to like grab a magenta band of it and like snap it. And it makes like another much smaller like facsimile of the like star arch. This will return you to the room. Or you can travel through. All I wanted was to speak. All I needed was for you to have a chance to speak to one another. The secret that you hide from the school is nowhere near as devastating as the ones you hide from each other. I hope this helped. And I just turn and walk through the star arch.
I try to stop you.
Okay, yeah, she's easily stopped.
Wait, can I have just some questions.
Of course.
Have people been killed for trying to spread this knowledge?
Yes.
Did you know anyone named Amalith?
I like looking over at Vana.
Yeah,
like, hey, Vana,
I'm
what do
thinking.
I know?
Right, roll a d20.
Okay. 2. I did use my natural 20 from before. I wasted it. Connie was right. No. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I haven't had any of my questions answered.
What?
And
Oh, go ahead.
oh no, go ahead.
What do you want?
I want my sister back.
Your leaf comment makes a little more sense now. I believe with every fiber of my being that nothing is lost beyond reach. If there are barriers, death and domain, it's simply that we don't know enough yet to find a new way, to forge a new path. Energy can't be created or destroyed. Everything that is still is. So I believe you can find her. Or I hope so, at least. I can be wrong.
Yeah.
Can I hug you?
And I think there's a moment where I think instinctually she's going to say no, but she just starts crying and nods.
Oh, sweetie. And immediately wraps you up in a big, big hug and gets a little warmer around you. I'm sorry. None of this is easy. But you've already come so far. just keep going. You're doing great.
All I can do is keep going until I can't.
There is so much suffering in this world. And Salomé kind of ends the hug and moves one step away from the archgate. There is so much suffering in this world. It is needless and extreme. I don't know if there's a way to stop it, but I have to believe that if more minds were put to the problem, a solution might be found.
And how are you so sure? How do you know that if more people had all of this information, all kinds of people, that it would do more good than it would cause harm?
I don't. All I can do is look back at the long arch of history, and I pull up with a minor illusion, like a really janky facsimile of the mosaic speech from earlier. This didn't work. It isn't working. So maybe something different could. I do not speak for all of the Auric, and I cannot answer for the suffering that has been inflicted in the name of a cause that I do believe in. That is each person's burden. And I think you all know a little bit about that. But you know where I stand. And I thank you for listening. And even if all of this, and now Salomé is just staring down Zero, even if all of this goes in one ear and out the other and comes to naught, thank you for listening. Please don't forget to keep asking questions. And I go through the arch.
And X lowers their bow, tucks it back. Oh, the little tiny flick of their tail again. Everything craves power.
And I think that's where we're going to leave it tonight. Thank y'all so much for a fantastic episode. That was so cool. Thank you so much to Aabria for guesting on the episode.
I'm sorry I yelled at all of you. I love you all very much.
It was so good.
That was great. It was so good.
Wow. Oh my God. So let's do a quick round horn so that everyone can know where to find you. Let's go in reverse order this time. C, are you capable?
No!
Oh.
Yes, hi, my name is C. Jesus. Hi, my name is C. I use they, them pronouns. If you liked what I did here tonight, you're going to like what I do in other places. So check me out, making very trans, very gay art over on any part of the internet at Pi Sharp Art. You can find me in lots of different places, most notably on Saturdays at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. Starting next week is the premiere of Transplaners Arc 8. I'll let Connie take like the real spiel, but that's all 8 of us. For every episode, Connie jams 8 people, so that's our final arc. Check it out next week. I'm never going to be normal about it. We cry for literally 3 episodes straight at the end. You can also find me on Thursdays playing the Mythic Initiative with Humna, and you can find me playing with Humna and Drac on every other Monday with Divine Intervention. I'm also in a bunch of other upcoming stuff that hasn't been announced yet, so just check me out on Twitter if you want to know where I am at any given time. And tonight I played Ecstasy, your perfectly well-adjusted assassin who uses they, them pronouns and is having a good first day out of the nunnery, so everything's fine. And I'll pass it to Con.
sorry, yeah, sorry.
It's me, Con. Hi
It's-a
everyone, I'm
me.
Connie. It's me. Pronouns they, he, and she. You can find me across the internet at Connie Chong. That's BYCONNIECHANG, namely Twitter, Hive, TikTok, Tumblr, what have you. When I'm not here being Mystagogue Stag Graves, I am the game master and creative producer for Transplanar RPG, as C mentioned. We are an all transgender POC-led dark fantasy D&D show set in an original non-colonial anti-orientalist world, streaming Saturdays at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time. Today is the last day of our hiatus, so we're coming back next year, the first Saturday of January. I believe that's January 7th at 8 p.m. US Eastern Time is the debut of Arc 8 of The Second Stranger, which is the final arc of this 2.5+ year-long campaign that I'm so excited to be wrapping up, sharing with all of you. It's only 8 episodes long, so it's gonna be done by the end of February. I hope you all tune in. Basically, it's the L word, but a lot more diverse, meets the literal end of the world. So it's the fucking apocalypse. So if you like queer drama turned up to like 11 or 12, meets like literal oblivion, you'll like The Second Strange and you'll like Transplanar RPG. Outside of that, I am the writer for God Killer RPG, which is an upcoming PBTA duet game that I'm writing, the ashcan of which is being published by Magpie Games. Keep your eyes peeled for more information about that on my Twitter. And what else? I feel like, I guess I'm a narrative designer at Bungie for my day job. That's what I do. I just like gaming a lot. So I'm gonna pass things over to Hamna.
Yes, hi, hello. My name is Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. Today, I was Jaysha, who uses they, Ray pronouns, who is now doing fine because they're going to be a terrorist. It's going to be great. Or it's going to be so fun. Who needs murder and coping with that when you can just do other things? You can find me on Twitter at @shahid_, where I talk about all of the different projects that I'm a part of. I'm on a lot of different APs right now, so Twitter is the best place to know where I am at any given point in time. One that I will shout out that's coming up pretty soon is on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time over on Going Crit RPG's channel. We will be coming back with another episode of Itaewon by Night, which is our Vampire the Masquerade campaign set in Itaewon, South Korea. It is absolutely unhinged and all Asian cast. It's wild. It's so good. It's feral. You should definitely come watch.
And like kind of sexy.
It is very sexy. The last episode we had was spicy. So if you like that, you should definitely come check it out. And with that, I will pass it over to Drac.
Hi, I'm Drac and also a Itaewon by Night super fan. So I'm just going to add that on top of everything I'm about to say. I highly recommend watching Itaewon by Night. It's really, really fucking good. But yeah, hi, I'm Drac, or Draconics. You can find me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. I'm a TTRPG performer, like AP producer, writer. There's going to be some very cool things in the works, so keep an eye out for that. You can find me every other Monday on on Exquisite Corpse Party Presents. No, Exquisite Corpse Presents. Corpse Party is a game. Exquisite Corpse Presents, where I play Kronos, the god of time. Starting in 2 weeks' time, but I'm going to announce it now. We're coming back on Table Story for Kingmakers, which is our homebrew, high fantasy, very dark kind of game where I play a disgraced king who, last we left off, turned into a demon and attacked their own party members. So we're going to see how season 2 is going to pick up. That's going to be interesting. What else? I'm here every Saturday. I was like, what day is it? Every Saturday, playing Bogosh, the Gorgon Inventor. What else? And I have some APs in production that I'm the, I don't know what they call it, production manager for. That's going to be very exciting. Just keep an eye out for that. You might see some familiar faces in that. And that's it, I think. Yeah, probably. There's probably more. Follow me on Twitter to find out anything else. I can't remember. I'm still reeling from this episode.
We love to hear it. Liv, what do you got for us?
Just a pain in my lower back. I feel like
Sorry, that hit me in my soul.
So stressed this entire episode, but I ended up having an absolute blast. Thank you so much, everyone. Hi, I'm Liv. I use she, they pronouns, and I am a TTRPG enthusiast and performer. Really shockingly, don't have that much going on right now. There's this regularly, and Total Party Chills Under the Table will be coming back. Under the Table is a man, how do I explain it? Basically, we play everything that's not Pathfinders or D&D. Love those games, but that is the goal. They're everything but that, mainly focusing on smaller indie creators. We're going to be coming back with our 4th season soon. I'll make sure to announce that when that happens, but not to get somebody on this cast too excited. It is our pirate season. We're doing pirates, y'all. We're doing pirates this season.
Jack's never been a pirate.
Drax never even heard of pirates.
Nate, listen, my people will talk to your people and maybe we'll let you guest on Under the Table.
I'll play the same pirate. I'll play Athenos again, and I'll just piss with everyone.
No love for your
It's
other
a
pirate.
different system.
I
Wash
choose
that
to
pirate,
believe
it's
that
getting crunchy.
Mix is peacefully retired now.
Oh, we love that for
He's
him.
happy fishing.
And by peacefully, you mean tied up in some shibari and having a great New Year.
Oh,
I mean,
That actually sounds pretty
that's
nice.
still peaceful. I want to make
Protect the
it
peace.
clear. Vanna, I'm pretty sure I taught Vanna what shibari was on stream in the episode.
Yes,
We're like,
I was
remember
shook.
this.
"Shibari?"
I was shook.
Vanna, what? Nothing. I was gonna make a weird sex comment, like that thing that we did 2 years ago.
Oh no, yeah. I didn't know what it was called. I just knew it was cool and fun.
Well, like, is this how the cook is doing? This is how the cook is doing, right?
Oh, what do you call this? Old ropey tie him up? I like this.
That is what we call
That's
it, ropey tie 'em
no
ups.
more Shibari, ropey tie me up. Oh,
New branding draw.
no, you know what? Shibari can still be that, but we're gonna start calling just standard bondage, ropey tie you up.
Ropey
Roll
tie.
up to the party, being like, "All right, who wants to do some ropey tie?"
We're gonna do some ropey tie ups. We're gonna do some zip zappies.
Y'all, there is an
zip zappies.
Oh,
Is that what we're calling
Zip
electro
zap
play now?
I can't believe Zip Zap Zop is now in my king.
Yeah,
Hey, you know what? I'm into kink shaming now.
I'm into
kink
kink-
shaming
I'm-
anyone that gets off the Zip Zap
I'm a
Zop.
gatekeeper.
With you, Aabria.
That was it.
Fuck, let me get back on track. Let me grab the mic. I won't. That'd make a terrible noise. But yes, when that will come back, Under the Table will come back. Very excited to be under the table with all those heathens again. But finally, after what, like 2 years, Super Idols RPG is finally at the Sing Star Tournament. The Arcavios did it. Super Idols RPG uses the math system and asks a question: what if BTS transformed like Sailor Moon? That's it. It's about a bunch of teens who are really passionate about music, and they have a group together, and they live in a world where when you are really passionate about the arts, maybe you'll rap so hard you'll get superpowers. It comes out once a month on Sundays. You can find it wherever you get your podcasts, and I highly recommend it, especially because if it's your first time starting it out, guess what? Drax's gonna join eventually, and then I will join
I was in
later.
it for a while.
You're in it for a while.
My character played the piano so hard he literally caught fire, and that was about
Yeah,
it.
literally. Yeah.
Amazing.
And
Aabria.
Aabria, take the mic.
Hello. Hi, I'm Aabria Iyengar, she, her pronouns. You can catch my work over at Critical Role or Dimension 20. New York by Night will be back next year for season 3 when the coteries combine. And I will be at a Taz live show in April, getting to play with the McElroys. I guess the biggest thing I want to reference is the countdown. If you noticed,
What's that about?
will end at midnight Eastern time. Anyway,
Just in time for the new year, Aabria.
just in time for the new year. I have no idea what's going to happen when that little
what's
timer hits
the-
zero.
What's the
I bet it'll be so fun.
Tell us.
Tell us.
the web
could
address
say?
is so funny. What
Can we
is
have a
it?
hint? Can we have a little hint?
You want a little hint?
Just a little hint.
No.
Oh,
Damn it.
here it
Oh, like,
is.
Not the
Not
edging.
again.
It's really funny because like every time it's like tell a little hint. I'm like, there is nothing cheesier in this world than trying to be like coy about a thing. Like,
I can't
here's my
believe
little hint. There's so many worlds out there. It's just so stupid. You're like, I don't know. Just wait. We'll tell you about it in a little bit. It's
Look,
fine.
it's okay. I can't believe I got denied and edged by Aabria Iyengar live on twitch.tv/Vana.
Wow.
So that's fine. Okay, that's okay with me.
Damn, we did that for free.
First-
you know.
First
should
the
tip
project
everyone,
edging, then some ropey little tie-em-ups.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we'll
Turn around and
zip-zap-zop,
play
zip-zap-zop.
That's what-
Zip, zap, zap.
Yeah, we'll play Zip Zap Zop after. It's all good.
Oh my God. Thank you so much, Aabria. It was such, well, I would say a joy, but it was a bit of a fantastical
Tragedy.
misery. Yeah, I don't know.
Yay, thanks for letting me be a bad guy that didn't have to be like me. Like, I'm gonna be the most compassionate terrorist you've ever met.
Morally gray. I wouldn't
Good
say
luck.
bad guy. Yeah. I mean, we've all heard of Final Fantasy VII, right?
I got fruit snacks and war crimes, buddies. What y'all want?
I mean, listen,
Listen, we're shaking hands. We're shaking hands.
I'm gonna just put it out here on the record. Zero, terrible, monarchist, hate to see it. Me, Liv, the player, live, laugh, loving for it. Let's fucking go.
I love living in that moment where you're like, my character wants none of this. And I'm like, burn it!
Burn it all down!
Exactly, that's where I was.
I hate systems.
I feel trapped. But I've been Havana. I've been your GM producer and other such things.
You're so good,
Oh my
Vana.
God.
You're so good at this.
I literally
tell
didn't
good
do anything
stories.
today. I was an on-screen viewer and it was amazing. I had a great time.
Was this good for you, by the way? How would you rate this experience?
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
Ooh,
Can you leave a Yelp
Daddy.
review?
Was it good for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're gonna have some aftercare and it's gonna be delicious.
It's gonna be zip zap zop.
It's gonna be zip zap zop
Got this.
and mind meld. But you can find me here right on this channel, twitch.tv/Vana, if that's where you're watching, Vana, where I play the Vigi games full time and of course the tabletop RPGs every Saturday. I really don't have anything else going on, but I am plotting either a Good Society game or a period Cthulhu game after the first season of Higher Education Wrap. So stay tuned for that, and you can do !worm in chat to follow me on Twitter. And we're gonna go raid a friendo. So if you just want to drop some hype in the chat, I've got a template here if you have my emotes. If not, any sort of good vibes will do. And thank you so much for joining us on New Year's Eve. And we hope going into the new year that y'all just thrive and create and love yourselves and the people around you. And we'll see you next time. Bye bye.